Sup YouTube, it's Decklists TCG here and welcome back to our TCG video on my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the results of the EUIC, the European Internationals, with over 3,361 players to be exact actually. We're going to be checking out the results, the meta conversion rate, which decks were popular, all that stuff in this video, as well as the top 16 deck lists. So hopefully you guys are ready for this video. If you guys are excited, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. It only takes one tiny second every time, but does help out the channel tremendously, and I'm forever grateful if you would do so. I was also able to attend the EUIC, but unfortunately I lost the winning in, so was not able to actually get converted to day 2, but still managed to get that top 512, which actually secured like 80 championship points, which by itself is very great because we already have a crazy amount of CP, so most likely locked for the World Championship. So that's gonna be quite the crazy adventure over in Anaheim. So if you're new, definitely subscribe because we're gonna be doing a vlog for the World Championships, just like we did for EUIC. If you haven't checked that out, be sure to check it out. There's a link in the description down below. With that being said, let's talk about the analysis, right? So we see here that Dragapult was the most popular deck here, with 616 players actually deciding to play Dragapult for the event, with Dusknoir, with Budu, all that stuff. There were also some lists out there that did not even play Dusknoir at all. There was also the second most popular deck in the room was Gardevoir, with 412 players piloting Gardevoir EX. Then Archaludon, the surprise of the tournament, as the third most popular deck in the room, which also was the deck I played at the event. Went really smoothly, even was at a 5-0 star with the deck, so the deck is very strong in this meta game, the Prismatic Evolutions format, because it isn't affected by like item lock all too much. Then Miraidon, fourth most popular deck. As you know, if Generator hits, it's going to be successful. We've seen that before, as Miraidon was able to win 2 regionals already. There is Lugia VSTAR as the fifth most popular deck, and finishing it off with Klawf with a 4.1% meta share. So let's take a look at what else was actually played during day 1. We see a little bit of Gholdengo, 3.9%, Raging Bull, 3.8%, a little bit of Snorlax, believe it or not. Charizard really dropped off from the face of the earth because only 3.1% of the meta. Lost Box 2.7, but also had a quite good conversion rate in that Snorlax Block. Or yeah, control-focused archetypes, only the 77 players out of all the 3,361 players went for that strategy. So let's take a look at the analysis for day 2. We see here Dragapult still most popular deck, Gardevoir as well, then followed up by Archaludon, Miraidon. Lugia flopped completely, so I don't know what happened to the Lugia hype. I personally stepped away from Lugia because it was a very bad choice for this event, and there was a good reason for that. Not only are you gonna be weak against Dragapults that are playing Temple of Sinnoh, you're also going to be weak if you get item locked and don't find your Lugia VSTAR. You're going to be weak if you actually face a Miraidon, and even the Archaludon matchup wasn't very good. So that's what happened to Lugia right there. We see Gholdengo up in itself, doubling in meta share, which is crazy good, and all the rest seems the same, but Lugia dropped off, and all the rest of the decks are almost in the same order as they were in day 1. So these 4 Prismatic Evolutions are like the strongest archetypes, it seems. So let's take a look at some deck lists, shall we? That's what you're here for. So let's take a look. The first place winning list was actually from Ryuko Okada from Japan, taking down an IC. They actually in the past were already able to take down the Dortmund regionals, and that was with Dusknoir and Dragapult. So now we do see that they are back at it again, and this time around Klawf Terapagos is the deck they actually chose for the event, and we do see that this is an archetype that can donk on the very first turn of the game without the opponent ever taking a draw of the turn. Very, very scary to think about, and they were up against Natalie Middle in the finals, and the thing that happened there was 2 donks. So if you get the donk off, every matchup can become favorable, but in theory it is actually weak against Dragapult EX if they get a decent setup. But yeah, it's a strong deck. You have capabilities to poison with Binding Mochi and Radiant Hisuian Sneasel. That means like you can Itchy pull them for a ridiculous amount of damage. You can slap big damage with Klawf. You can go for Petulant donking as well if it's in the active position. There is the capability of attacking with Terapagos as well, but that is not gonna work if you go second on your first turn. It's gonna have to be another turn besides that. So consistency all around with double Forest Sealstone, Oranguru, stitch it all together because the Rescue Carrier, actually the Precious Trolley, let's calculate how cool that it could be. You could just get your bench completely, get the squad instantly out there, Latias EX for free retreat. You can get out Budu if you want to start item locking, the Brute Banette, the Oranguru, and with the high amount of switch cards, as soon as you get the Precious Trolley going around, you can then switch into Oranguru and get the rest of the tools out, and then free retreat because of Latias EX. So you're also not weak again against stuff that want to trap you, like a Wellspring Ogerpon, a Mawile that's sometimes lurking around in those Gardevoir decks. So with the 4 switch cards, you are having a very great time. And also there is the Kieran for additional switch, but will work for damage output as well. Some people play Black Belt in a list like this, but they went for the Kieran as the most universal way to get itself involved in this list. And also having Monkey Dory and 1 copy of the Darkness Energy, which works miracles if you're actually itchy pulling and then you get poison damage. Then you go for the Monkey Dory to put the poisoned damage onto the opponents while you can keep on item locking. So I think the deck is very, very strong in this format, and we did see it in action here. In the first place winning list, Ryuki Okada. Very, very nice to see. Alright, next deck is Natalie Miller from Australia. She was rocking the Dragapult Dusknoir deck, and this is a very, very powerful list. A lot of players actually played this 60. We see Ethan Heggie, known as Hexer TCG, also getting top 5. 256 slots with the exact same 60. So what is good about Dragapult? Well, you can slow the opponent down with a Budu. You can make sure if they cannot find enough Pokemon to have board winning situations where you blow up your Dusknoirs and spread damage around with Phantom Dive, and that's how the deck wins a lot of games. It's a tick to Dusknoir line. We have a 3-2-1 line in there. Radiant Alakazam to move around those damage counters. We have the stuff we've seen before, and the stadiums of choice is Temple of Sinnoh to respect, of course, that Lugia VSTAR matchup, but also can come in clutch against Klawf Terapagos, because those decks also rely on DTE, a higher amount of lands in the deck, so you're a little bit less weak to item lock yourself. So interesting that Dragapult Dusknoir, it's not interesting because in that sense we were expecting this to be in the finals, to say the least. Then we have Xander Perot from the US, 3rd place with Gholdengo, believe it or not. And this is a testing group perfectionizing a 60 and going crazy with it as well. How many slots for that? We have Xander Perot, Rahul Reddy, Grant Chan, Aben Ahmed, Isaiah Bradner, John Ang, Victor Ang, Kian Amini, and Lucas Singh, all with the same exact 60, converting really well with Gholdengo. So what is there to say about Gholdengo that hasn't been said already? Coin bonus is powerful, and you don't even need the aforementioned Palkia VSTAR. You just go for Energy Surge Pro, and just blow it up on the opponent. You might think, oh, I might be weak against the Budu, but this list actually is playing a lot of energies. As you can see, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different types, and on top of all of that, you will have enough energies to last yourself through the game. If you want to know exactly how many there were, 12 energies, and you don't have to. You can, if you get Budu'd, you can also just start swinging with putting energies on the manually on the Greninja, I suppose. The opponent at one point, if you're not playing Manaphy, will have to do something, and because you're playing Monkey Dory, at one point you can also just KO Budus with the help of Monkey Dory, which is super cool as well. So really love the list. You have double Turo here and the Palpat, so against like people that want to trap you with, as mentioned, Mawile, Wellspring Ogerpon, Snorlax Block, you're gonna have answers for that. There's a TM Evo in here and a high amount of Arven, so yeah, Gholdengo by itself, drawing a ton of cards because of concealed cards, the Flip the Script of Pheasantipity helping out, and you pretty much one-shot anything in the game with Gholdengo. Very cool to see it get in 3rd place. We have Simone Fiorito from Italy. There you go. Archaludon, top 4s. As you know, I'm a big fan of Archaludon in this format, with or without Dialga VSTAR. I personally played it without for more consistency, but they went for the Dialga VSTAR because that approach with Star Cronus can help out. If you're not playing Dialga, you probably will need to jam in a couple of jamming towers to see what we did there. That's gonna help out the Gardevoir matchup a ton, but With Dialga, you can also do a lot of miraculous stuff with the Star Chronos. You're going to be able to, of course, attack twice because of Star Chronos. You power up because evolving into Archaludon allows you to accelerate 2 Metal-type energies from the discard pile to your Metal Pokemon in any way you like. So 4/4 land of Archaludon. Scoop up Cyclone, the best ace pack for a deck like this. And you're also going to be able to get rid of your bench hitters like Squawkabilly, Luminion. So I think it's a really great card. Definitely in combination with Turo and the Palpat, you're going to be doing miracles. So the main cards are in there, the Nazballs, the Ultra Balls, the Stretchers, the Earthen Vessels. But what stands out the most here is that this 60 is playing the Dialga, a very thick line, a 2/2 line, and a Torton. So a high emphasis on Dialga VSTAR because it's still going to be one of the strongest attacks if you can get it off the Star Chronos. Alright, so that's top 4. Then we have Vinny Fernandez from Brazil with the Dragapult. This is a Dragapult list that actually is not playing Dusknoir, instead is playing like Klefki. It is playing Blood Moon Ursaluna, and there were more people playing that. We have Marlon Felipe and Gabriel Fernandez in the senior division, got first place by the way with the exact same 60. So we're gonna have to give a huge shout out to yeah, the brothers here doing ridiculously well with this 60. So Dragapult is here to stay, very strong archetype, Phantom Dive, and this list actually comes back with a Monkey Tori as well. So there's a Lost City which can help to put specific Pokemon in the Lost Zone that you never want to be seeing again. Think about like a Mimikyu, for example. There's an Unfair Stamp in the list, a Crispin thrown up in there, and a Defiance Vest as well, making yourself quite tanky. So the Defiance Vest will put 40 less damage from attacks, and that's going to be really, really powerful, and specific matches can actually upswing quite ridiculously. Then yeah, who let Snorlax Block into the building? We have Daniel Magda from the Czech Republic with Snorlax Block. Snorlax Block is a deck that everyone loves to hate because once you get blocked in the active position, you have no answers for it, you're probably going to be losing. You have, of course, the disruptive supporters like Team, you have the Misfortune Sisters, you have the Eerie, all those things can be very, very nasty to deal with. There's a Cornerstone Ogerpon EX in here as well, which can wall off stuff like Charizard instantly. There's a couple of 3 copies of Sinnoh in here, so they were respecting Lugia going into this event. There's a little bit of a hybrid version between the boxed order version that Sander Wojcik popularized, if I'm not mistaken, and the regular Rotom build. So yeah, Snorlax Block, people were not respecting it, and it shows. Then 7th place, Rone Nielsen from Denmark, also playing Snorlax Block, and this is going to be a very traditional way of Snorlax Block, but they throw in the Milotic preventing the opponent's Pokemon from getting picked up, which means that if you want to be playing Turo or Scoop Up Cyclone, it's not going to work, and that's what made the deck really good. Also enriching energy in this list, and 2 copies of Jet Energy, so sometimes you can also start using the Mawile if you don't want to be using Snorlax, because some decks do play some answers for that. So interesting situation for sure. Diancie also in here to deal with the Chinchinos, so they were capable, they had usage to actually deal with stuff like Lugia as well, I suppose. So the Diancie thrown in there, and then we have the Mawile and Tempting Traps and all that, so cool stuff for sure. Then we have James Cox. I think they started with 0-2 and then went all the way to 11-2 with the Dragapult Dusknoir list. What do we see here? It was very successful. Aiden Cuz, Brand Tonneson, James Cox, they were all playing something like this. I don't know if everyone played it, but in Meridot they were already successful with a list like this. We see more people playing that, so it is a very strong 60 here. The classic way to be playing Dragapult is, of course, with the Dusknoir, and there is, of course, the Temple of Sinnoh to protect yourself from the scary, scary Lugia, which sometimes can rock with Regigigas, but as we see, Lugia is nowhere to be seen. Okay. Next up, we have Oscar Madsen from Denmark with a hybrid. We have Charizard and Dragapult. They did the fusion dance, and this is the result. We see that this archetype has direction to go for the heavy Zard. There is 3 candies in here and a 2/0/2 line of Charizard. And also an Unfair Stamp instead of the Sparkling Crystal. So there's that. Energy Surge also thrown up in the 60 to, of course, find your energy with the help of Arven. instead of going for an Earthen Vessel, which sometimes is the way Dragapult gets energies. So we have a hybrid, so you can go heavy on the Zard depending on the matchup. Think about you're up against a Miraidon, you can just get out your Zard. If you're up against something else, get out the Dragapult. So everything's good with a 60 like this. Then we have Reiji Nishiguchi from Japan with Dragapult Dusknoir. Okay, with there was also another player from Japan, Yoshiyuki Arai, which actually played the exact 60. We see here Dragapult Dusknoir, double Budu, double Lance, a double counter catcher, a vacuum for, of course, the jamming towers that were literally swarming the tournament. They were literally everywhere. Wherever I was looking around at the tournament, I saw a lot of jamming towers. So yeah, Dragapult did well as expected. So in those 10 decks we just mentioned, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, half of them were Dragapult variants. Then we have Grand Manly with the Lost Box. Lost Box now has Regigigas from Prismatic Evolution by its side. You have the Pikachu with the Topaz Bolt attack, slapping 300. You have the Iron Hands to take additional prize cards. Almost nobody was playing Lost City, so you can get all of these cards back quite easily with the Super Rod. 2 copies of Artisan in this 60 as well. Sometimes you might think, oh, I will get item lock, but you can just swing with Cramorant, I suppose. So they cannot keep item locking forever. So there's that. And a couple of Jet Energies also thrown up in the list. Sometimes you could get trapped with your 4-retreat or 3-retreat Pokemon right there. And that's where the Jet Energies come into fruition quite easily. You have your 4-retreat Regigigas, your 4-retreat Iron Hands, 3-retreat Blood Moon. So some Jet Energies will definitely be nice because you can again then go for Jet and Mirage Gate. But Jet also works to activate some flower selecting. So this is going to be the last couple of months to be playing Lost Box, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're a Lost Box fanatic, definitely try out the 60. It's very strong in my opinion. It was one of the strongest decks in the room because nobody was respecting that. And I haven't seen any Regidraco VSTARs anywhere. And that means also no Kirams on the field. Santiago Blanco Gonzalez from Brazil. Klawf Terapagos. Let's see what this 60 has. The unique card I instantly see is the Genesect with the nullifier for a spec card. So if it has a tool, you can do that. That means sometimes you can shut down stuff like Prime Catcher, stuff like an Unfair Stamp. All of these cards not being able to get played seems pretty broken to me. And we also come back with Black Belt, as I've mentioned before in Ryuki's list, where they actually were playing the Kiran. This is the Black Belt training for 40 additional damage output. And nobody's playing Petulant EX, by the way. This list also playing a Ditto means you can copy paste an attack from a Pokemon in the discard pile, which could be really useful. You can copy paste item lock, which means your Ditto has more HP than a Budu, as a little example. Okay, moving forward, there was Jelle van Kampen, one of the best Gholdengo players in the world. If I take a look at Gholdengo, who is the most successful Gholdengo player? It is Jelle van Kampen right here. Shout out where shoutouts are due, because they have been playing non-stop Gholdengo and now top 16 at EUIC. Wow, what a fantastic way to end it off. Here we have a 1-1 line of the Palkia VSTAR and a jamming tower in the 60 as well, with Monkey Dory too. So you have some answers against Guardy and the Cologne. So you can Moonlight Shuriken for 2 Pokemon targets. You can Monkey Dory something like a Drifloon. You can also jamming tower. It has a little bit of everything for the matchups right there. And we do have access to some Irida, which is really useful if you're playing Greninja, if you're playing the Palkia VSTAR. So it's a little bit of a hybrid between the Palkia list and just the Energy Search Pro list. But Jelle van Kampen just showcasing that practice makes perfect. And Gholdengo is now a mainstay, probably going to be a tier 1 deck moving into the next event for sure. So you probably gonna have to have some Gholdengo up on your radar. Let's go. Then we have Joao Pedro Medeiros Zambrano. I hopefully pronounced that correctly. So we have 14 plays, a Dragapult 60. This Dragapult 60 is not playing any Dusknoir. It is playing Klefki and Blood Moon. So with the Unfair Stamp and even a Lost City and the Defiance Vest. So the combination of cards that make this Dragapult list stand out. Also double Crispin and 4 lands. 4 lands. I think that's something that Tord popularized. We're going to be taking a look at Tord's list from 22nd place because there's a lot of people playtesting with that 60. So we have Miloslav, Nicolo, Castinola, Francesco, Pascal Caternino, Simone Canziani, and Vincenzo Siva, all playing the exact same list as Stored. And as you see here, that was playing 4 copies of the Lance, the Defiance Band. It was not the Defiance Vest, by the way, but the Defiance Band and then Crispin. So left the Dragapults alone. Okay, so we were checking out this 60, so a little bit inspired right here. This is the Defiance Vest, by the way. Okay, next up, we're gonna be checking out another Klawf Terapagos 60 with Simone Lasponara. Let's see, from Italy. The Ditto is also coming back here. We see Monkey Dory. Lots of Monkey Dory in the top performing lists. Squawkabilly, no Carmine, and there's a Vacuum in there as well, which could be really helpful because you can vacuum your own area 0 under def and then get rid of some bench hitters that you don't want to see anymore. Maybe some of them got damaged, so there is that. So Klawf Terapagos also had a fantastic showing, let's be honest. Snorlax Block is the last one, rounding up the top 16. Let's see, that's the classic build here with double Ogerpon, Cornerstone, the double Mimikyu. This is actually some of the 60s that we've seen lurking around this season so far. So nothing too crazy out of the ordinary. 3 handheld fan is pretty strong though. But yeah, with that many like Jamming Tower and Archaludon, I didn't expect Snorlax to do well, but they did. So there's more in the Limitless, so definitely check that out. We don't see any Gardevoir in the top 16, so if we take a look at the statistics, Dragapult, very strong performer. Archaludon got a top 4 placement. We didn't see any Miraidon, didn't see any Gardevoir in top 16. We did see a lot of Klawf, and Gholdengo was there as well. So what happened to Lugia? Lugia didn't do too well, and if we take a look at the results here, there was also not that many. There were some Gardevoirs in top 32. But if we take a look at the best performing Lugia list, it was only 41st place. So yeah, Lugia was not the play. We did see that Regidraco did a little bit of something, 17th place. So there was that, but a lot of good Gholdengo players. It seems like the testing groups were anonymous, that it was a great pick. Miraidon did very well 2 weekends back to back, but then in this situation, wasn't all too strong. Gouging Fire, same story. It actually got second at one of the events, but now it didn't do too well. So yeah, let me know how you feel about the top 16 deck list. Did you watch the finals in the venue, or did you watch from home? Did you enjoy the event? Let me know your opinions about EUIC 2025 down below in the comment section. Let's get a discussion started. And going into the next tournament, which decks will actually adapt, which decks will be more popular? You're all gonna have to figure that out, and we're gonna be talking about it very shortly on the channel. So thank you very much for watching today. I appreciate you tuning in, and I'll be posting the Pokemon Center vlog also this week. So definitely stick around. If you enjoyed it, let me know, and I will see you guys tomorrow for more Pokemon TCG content. EUIC was a blast, and I can't wait for the next Pokemon TCG event. Have a nice, fantastic rest of your day. Peace.